Unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom, Wakasayim, Wabarakiam. Peace, mercy, and blessings unto all of you, Shaquanya, Wa'akim, to the Biafshah, Dawadah, to the hopeful elect, to the house of David, to the one-third, to the men, women, and children. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means he exists, he is to be. The true name of the Son is Yahweh Shai, which means he is to deliver, right? And check the audio, see how that's looking. All right, Khan. So I checked the audio. It seems all right. Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha. For any of you sheep tuning in, Baba Kasha, let me know how that is. Salakia for the lighting up in here. Actually, let me see if I can do something about that. All right. Shalom. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honor, peace, mercy, and blessings to the hopeful elect out there, right? True name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means he exists, that he is to be. The true name of the Son is Yahweh Shai, which means he is to deliver. All right. And we are the Hebrewites, which consist of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Latins, Hispanics, but we make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel, right? The so-called white men, they're not white, they're red. Jewels, it's cool. I appreciate that. All right. And pretty much this is what I'm going to go into is it's an article from End Time Headlines, right? Which the brother Gabar posted in the chat. And I check this site a lot. And I actually follow the IG page. The spirit had it where I'm up. I can't fucking Russian official just quoted the book of Revelation to describe America's soon fate. So this is the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Right? So matter of fact, I'm already in Revelations. Let's open with that scripture. This is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. Right now, this is dealing with John the Revelator. Right when the Lord came to him and also sent angels to him to give him, understanding of what was to come in the future. Right. So he bowed down to the angel. Right. And he said unto me, see that thou do it not. Right. Because the angels are our brothers. And this happened a numerous times throughout the scriptures, man, where people encounter angels and, they attempted to, worship him, but the angel had to let them know, don't worship me, worship the Heavenly Father. All right. The same thing happens with Samson's parents, his dad actually, right? It says, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Son, which means he delivers. It's not Jesus. Even though in the book it'd be written Jesus, that's just a English transliteration. Well, it's not even English. It's more Greek, right? It really ain't even a word. You see, so people calling upon Jesus ain't gonna be delivered. All right. See, we go back to the roots. The root. All right. The true name is Yahweh Shai. Okay. It says worship Yahweh, right? Because God is just a title. For the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, and to prophesy is to say, is to let you know what's going to happen before it happens. Okay, so what are we doing? We're prophesying the downfall of Babylon the Great, which these people call America, which that name is an omen because America means bitter, right? Let me check the audio real quick again. All right, cool. Look up this word prophet. So I looked up the definition of prophet in the online etymology dictionary. It says person who speaks for God. All right, really is a man who Yahweh, like for Jonah, for example, Yahweh Shai, Jeremiah, for I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and I ordained thee to be a prophet unto the nations, meaning the Most High set certain men up from the foundation of the world to go out and to speak, thus said Yahweh Shem Shai in the name of the Lord. The prophets came in the name of the Lord. It tells that in the book of James, right? It says, one who foretells inspired preacher. Okay, and inspired means to breathe in. Okay, so it says, and also it's written in Corinthians that the spirit of the prophets are subject unto the prophets, man. Okay, starting with our apostles and elders, and that have taught them, and we learn from our apostles and elders to all on down. And then you have the different bishops, regional heads set up. Around Radazal, we're the modern prophets, we're those men coming back to let you know what's going to happen here in the future. Okay, and it ain't going to be pretty, man. Because what's written in this book is a lot of people think you get a prosperity doctrine or a feel good message. Most High ain't dealing with no prosperity doctrine, man. The Most High is dealing with His word. The Most High magnifies his name, His word above His name, man. Okay, so lucky if I'm saying that wrong. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 2, and verse 9. And when I behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. And that's going to come during the time of Jacob's trouble. That's going to come during the time of all hell breaking loose, man. Okay. Today I overheard some Jakes, they were speaking, which it was so-called the black woman, of our nation. They were speaking about the coming purge that's going to hit the streets of Illinois, that entire state. They're pretty much giving people the green light to purge, which that's going to spread out all throughout Babylon. And I overheard what they were saying, and they were bugging out. So people are afraid. People are going to start, because people were seeing what's happening, man. Through TikTok, to social media, to YouTube. So the word is out there. This truth is out there, man. A lot of our people, they know that they're Israelites. They may not embrace, the culture of being an Israelite, but they have the knowledge of, oh, those are the Israelites. You see, so actually they're marked, right? So back in this article, which is pretty much the foundation of this lesson, it's from End Time Headlines. It says a top Russian official just quoted the book of Revelation to describe America's soon fate, right? Because this place, it hasn't never been attacked. There haven't been any wars here on U.S. soil. Okay, so we're in the spirit of Noah, where the modern day Noah is letting people know that it's going to rain, and people are looking at us like we're crazy. But it is going to rain. It's going to rain nuclear missiles, man. Okay, it says the Russians. And this is the guy who wrote this article. This is their opinion. Says the Russians continue to threaten us with nuclear annihilation. Why are so few people in the Western world alarmed by this? Because they're asleep. Yahweh Shem Shai had chosen strong delusions that they should believe a lie. So they believe that things are going to go back to normal, that they're going to bounce back. You see, they actually have faith. They actually believe in an American dream, man. Okay. I think it is because our leaders are assuring everyone that the Russians are all talk and that the odds of a nuclear war actually happening are extremely low. They're extremely high, right? Because now America ain't the only one who possesses good capabilities. Other nations possess it too. Okay? And that's prophesied in Joel, let the weak say I'm strong, right? Meanwhile, both sides just continue to take steps to escalate the war in Ukraine. It says, we are engaged in an extremely bizarre game of nuclear chicken. And both sides truly believe that the other side will blink first. And so we continue to creep closer and closer to a cataclysmic nuclear conflict. And once the missiles start flying, there will be no turning back, right? And the missiles, according to the Holy Bible, they're described as arrows. Okay, grab my apocrypha. Gotta have that apocrypha, man. You know, this apocrypha contains the first and second Maccabees, which that's the link, you know, with the history of the Greeks, right? Because the scriptures goes from Babylon, you know, to the Romans, right? Persians, but it just skips over the Greeks. But this actually contains the history of the Greeks, man. Okay, and those prophecies in the Apocrypha that have yet to been fulfilled yet, but they will be, right? This is the book of 2nd Esdras 16, and I'm going to start at actually I'm just starting at 1. 2nd Esdras 16 and 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Now Babylon, you know, dealing with America, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. All right, as it's spoken about in Revelation 17, and Asia dealing with, you know, China over there. Okay, Moab, the wash pot. Then you have Egypt, which America is modern Egypt, Nineveh, right? All of these different kingdoms wrapped into one big melting pot of a fucking mystery wickedness, man. Okay, but it's dealing with the Middle East, because different parts of the Middle East. Woe meaning destruction. So, okay, so destruction is going to hit different key places in the world. Okay, and Syria. Okay, it tells you that on I believe it's Isaiah 18. Damascus shall be in a ruinous heap. Right. It says, "Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack, and hair bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." Right. So I'm going to jump down to verse 7. It says, "May one turn again the arrow that is shot at a strong archer." So the nukes are described as arrows, man. Okay. I actually look up the definition of an arrow. It says nuclear missile. Okay. If a nuke goes missing, right, they call that a broken arrow. Okay. Furthermore, how we can prove that this is talking about nukes, we want to read it. It says, we'll jump down to 13. "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow." So the nukes come from out of the silos, right? They shoot up. That's the technological bow, if you will. Okay, and the nuke being the arrow. Okay, we're in the future, man. So technology, knowledge, all of these things have increased, as it says in the book of Daniel. "He shoot it are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." So you can't do that with a traditional bow and arrow like that the natives use. You can't take a bow and arrow and shoot it back to the old world, back to England, back to Spain, okay, back to Ireland. Ain't gonna work. So it's talking about nukes, man. It's dealing with nuclear capability. That's the conflict that's happening between all of these different key players in the world is going nuclear. Okay, it's threats of nuclear. Iran, Israel, threats of nuclear attack. Now, a few months, maybe I think about maybe a month ago, Iran just announced that it has capability to make nukes, man, which they could have been at that capability. Okay, but everything is nuclear now. We're not in the times of 300. Okay, with Leonidas and his men versus Xerxes, Noman. Okay, nukes are called massive destruction. That's how this place is going to be thrown down in an hour. Okay, what you know as America is you can find it in the Bible. Back in this article, it says, and once the missiles start flying, there will be no turning back, right? And that's exactly what the scripture says here. I'll read it again. The second Ezra 16 and 13. Actually 7, excuse me. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer, right? Because once that missile is launched from the silo, it has to reach its target. And the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai is going to be on those nukes to fulfill his word, which is to have this place destroyed in 1 hour. And when these nukes hit, this place is going to become the lake of fire. Okay, you got to imagine it from a chariot's eye view. If you're looking down on the destruction, it'll look like a lake of fire. Okay. It says, I simply do not understand why our leaders are not taking Russians more seriously. The Russians warned that they would take military action in Ukraine, and if an agreement to avoid war could not be reached, and that is precisely what happened. And now the Russians are repeatedly threatening us with nuclear war. In fact, Dmitry Medvedev just warned that the U.S. That's what they're saying. Top official over there of the bear, right? If the West continues its unrestrained pumping of Kiev regime with the most dangerous types of weapons, Russia's military campaign will move to the next level, where visible boundaries and potential predictability of actions by the parties to the conflict will be erased, and the conflict will take on a life of its own, as wars always do, Medvedev argued. And when the Western nations will not be able to sit in their clean homes, laughing at how they carefully weaken Russia by proxy, everything will be on fire around them. Their people will harvest their grief in full. The land will be on fire and the concrete will melt, Medvedev wrote, before citing a Bible verse from Revelations 9 and 18, which it shows you here. It says, a third of mankind was killed by 3 plagues, by fire, and by the smoke of the brimstone, which came out of their mouths. Medvedev also addressed the fact that U.S. politicians don't seem to be taking Russian threats very seriously, right? And that's all you got to get from this article. You know, the scriptures tell us everything, you know, but hey, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai put on the spirit of these different, you know, high-ranking officials, you know, leaders, you know, prominent individuals, okay, and in the armies around the world to say things that's biblical. And a lot of times they actually quote in the Bible. So, to go right to Revelation 17, 18, Revelation 13, Jeremiah 51. You know, it's all throughout the book. This is Proverbs. You know, the Lord had him say that. The Lord set that up in the spirit because man's goings are of the Lord, man. This is Proverbs 21 and verse 1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So, hey, the Most High put in the spirit. The Most High is controlling these different presidents and rulers of these nations, such as Kim Jong-un. Most High is controlling them, right? Which they're talking about assassinating South Korea, saying, or North Korea, excuse me, if there's any sort of threat or attack on their leader, then they're just going to launch nukes. Okay? Moab, the wash pot, they're getting their nuke game up. All right? The Russians, they're getting their nuke game up, man. Okay? That's what it's all about. That's the name of the game. Possessing nuclear capability and becoming the next world superpower, man. Okay? But we have to go back to, we have to understand prophecy. The prophecy was that the deadly wound will be healed, right? Which Rome had to fall, right? So Rome fell. Then you had the 1,000-year period, 325 AD, Constantine, all about 1325 AD, where the Lord sent the Black Death or the bubonic plague, right? We begin to lose our power in the different kingdoms that we had established in Europe. All right, Esau crept in. Then you had the Renaissance, the rebirth, which is what the rebirth. That's what America is. And then this second leg is when a stone is going to smite the statue and destroy it. Okay, so that's the time that we're looking at, man. The prophecy says that the next kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom, Yahweh Shai's kingdom. Okay, and to be joint rulers with Yahushua as the elect. All right, the 144,000 and 1/3. Okay, and with that government, okay, that world being established on earth. All right, all these different nations are going to serve. They're going to be tributaries, man. All right, they're going to serve us and they're going to have to. They're going to serve us and our God. And they're going to get judged. All right, it tells you in the book of Zechariah, if they don't want to come down and serve our God, we ain't going to have them have any rain on their land. Because that's going to cause droughts, which then going to cause wildfires, which then going to cause death of cattle, which is going to cause famine. It's going to be a domino effect, man. Okay. Let's see. Actually, let's go to that. This is Daniel 2. This is Daniel chapter 2. In case you want to read along, this is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 38. This is when Daniel's breaking down the dream. All right. It says, and where verse 37 actually, thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the power of heaven, right, had given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven had he given into thy hand, and had made thee ruler over them all. Thou art the head of gold, right? Because he saw Nebuchadnezzar had a dream of a statue, right? He had a dream of a statue, but he couldn't discern it. But the Lord put it on the spirit of Daniel to discern it. And he was telling him, like, you're the head of gold in this dream, which represents the Babylonian kingdom. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, all right, which shall bear rule over all the earth. All right, and that's the Greeks. The brass is the Greeks. The second will be the Medo-Persian Empire. And the fourth, verse 40, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. That's dealing with the Roman Empire. Okay, for as much as iron breaking in pieces and subduing all things. And it's iron that breaketh all these, right? Iron break what? Iron breaks brass. Okay, it breaks gold. Iron is a very strong, precious metal, man. Okay, that represents the Edomite, kingdom. His blessing being a sword. Okay, his how do you say it? His ferocious rulership. Okay, it says, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. Okay, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, which that's where we're at in prophecy, man. We're in the prophecy. We're looking at the statue. In the second leg of the Roman Empire, but then you have what? The feet and toes. Okay, part of potter's clay and part of iron. All right, then what? The NATO and the EU. The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Okay, and that's exactly what's going on with those nations, man. Okay, dealing with the different nations over there, Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, Portugal, England, Ireland, Germany, Germanian minor, Germanian major, right? Some of those nations are economically strong and others are not. Okay, but they are divided though. Okay, because it also tells you in Revelation 17 that these are going to hate the horde, so they're ultimately going to turn on the horde, man. Remember, the whore is riding upon the beast. Okay, it says, verse 44, verse 43 actually, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. 44, and in those days, all right, and in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom. Okay, and that's happening right now with the Lord waking up his men, starting with Abba Bivens. You see, because the kingdom of heaven is within you. This is what Yahushua told his disciples who later became apostles. So the kingdom of heaven is actually within us. Okay, so in the midst of this man's kingdom, Most High is already setting up our kingdom's third temple. Okay, okay, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Okay, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, right? Meaning that it's not of man, it's not of man's will. Okay, this is of the Most High. The Most High is doing, right? And that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great power Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua had made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is true. Okay. And it expounds furthermore in Daniel 7, dealing with the different beasts in the kingdom, but looking at where we're at in prophecy, we're in the prophecy of this place being destroyed. Of our kingdom rising up, Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it, and this kingdom being taken down, man. Okay, with the truth. Okay, this truth is the major key that's tearing down this man's kingdom. This is Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise." Right now, look up that word battle, and it went back to pretty much like a military boot. So what do militaries do in the ancient world? They would march. I watched this, which I don't really like the Hulu like that. Now, if you have it and you have things on there you watch, that's different. But I watched this show on there. I believe it's called Barbarians Rising. And goes into Hannibal. In the ancient world, you have a military. They would march for miles and miles, man. Okay, you figure, your military is stationed in, Thrace or maybe Spain and Portugal. All right, you want to march on Egypt, you have to take your military down, and they would do all that marching. Okay, so in the ancient world, you would have your army, you have the different leaders or whatnot. They'd actually march on different kingdoms. Okay, now that we're in the future, they don't have to do that anymore, man. You just hit a button, and the nuke is going halfway across the world, and the whole civilization is being destroyed. Millions, billions of people is being destroyed. All right. So this is going to be a lot different. It's not going to be fought with siege engines, and this army circles the city, all right, for 8 months to starve it out, and then they go in and take. It's not going to be fought like that. It ain't going to be fought with swords, shields, spears, archers. Okay, the modern day archers are the nations shooting their nukes. Okay, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So meaning this battle, the third woe. Okay, because that's what this article is dealing with the third woe that's coming quickly, man. This is Revelation 11 verse 14. The second woe is past, dealing with World War II, 1940s, right? And out of that came what? Out of that came NATO, all right? To do what? To counter what the Soviet Union had going on, okay? And these nations, what they did was they decided to make a pact to say if anybody attacks us, hell, that's like attacking all of us, man. I have my notes here. It says North Atlantic Treaty Organization, all right? It's pretty much a military alliance established by North Atlantic Treaty. It's also called the Washington Treaty on April 4th, 1949. Right now, check this out. Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty, an attack on one, right, of any one of these nations is like an attack on all the countries. All right, and you know what solidified that? 9/11. Okay, 9/11 was a prime example of that, man, and they used that momentum to go after a man in the cave with weapons of mass destruction, man. Okay, so we're in the time of this devil being exposed, Esau being sought out. All right. This is Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly, which is World War III. Which Yahweh Shemel Shai set up World War III. But these devils, actually have a plan of how they want World War III to play out. Have this book called Fossilized Customs by Lou White, which Lou White is a small hat. No, he could be a Jake. Don't get me wrong. A lot of our people are scattered amongst these other nations. I had the book for a while, so the cover kind of ripped. But one thing I like about this book, it has the ancient Paleo Hebrew. It has the names Yahweh and Yahweh Shai around on the cover. All right. I don't know if you could see. I try to put it up there. Yeah, right there. You can actually see the Paleo Hebrew. All right. The names are actually written in the book. So I'm going to go to this. Because it has a lot of good information. This is page 52 of Fossilized Customs. Well, actually, let me see. Actually, page 54. All right. I'm going to just go to 55. It's page 55 of Fossilized, got 33rd degree Mason. All right. The Freemason organ of English Freemasonry. All right. January 19, 1935 and 1831 and 1871, Giuseppe Mazzini issued a remarkable letter in which he graphically outlined plans for 3 world wars, which was already prophesied, right? Until recently, this letter was on display in the British Museum Library in London. Pike aided in making this plan known in the U.S. It was a blueprint for 3 wars called the Mazzini-Pike Plan. Its ultimate goal was eventual world domination. The letter outlined 3 relatively simple strategies. It called for communism, fascism, and the struggle for the Mideast to foment 3 global wars and at least 2 major revolutions. World War I was to destroy the Tsarist government of Russia and replace it with militant atheism. World War II will begin by manipulating Great Britain and Germany to achieve a global war, right? Which was done almost single-handedly by Adolf Hitler. World War III of the Mazzini-Pike blueprint called for the firing up of the controversy. Now, this is the point right here, all right, between the Israeli and Muslim world. Now, Israeli are obviously the little hats, right? Tells you in Zechariah that a B word shall dwell in Ashdod, right? And the Muslim world is dealing with Iran. You can actually Google this. Iran is 99% Muslims, man. All right. Yes, this is from Jessica. Yep, I'm on a terrorist watch list just for believing in Yahweh. Hey, call out Yahweh Shem El Shai. Because the scripture says that, man, blessed when, you shall be persecuted. Right? That's actually persecution. And Yahweh Shai warned us about persecution, man. Okay? When you go in the Gospels, there were certain Israelite spies who feigned themselves as just men, meaning they acted as righteous men to spy and watch on Yahweh Shai. All right? And these devils have something called like a red list, yellow list, and a blue list, which if you're on the red list, you're pretty much marked for extermination. It's because of what? Your belief, because you got the truth. Okay, so if you know about the MOTB, okay, if you know about the NWO, the chariots, the second coming of Yahweh Shai, they can't lie to you. So they're gonna mark you for deletion. Right? The people on the blue list, they're just in fucking la la land. The yellow list, maybe we can re-educate them. Okay, they're gonna take them to re-education camps, which is nothing more than the concentration camps. You see? So that's the time we're in the time of all of these dominoes getting ready to fall. And that's part of Jacob's trouble too. But hey, the scripture says that you're gonna be saved out of it. And so, Lord willing, we're part of the elect. The Lord's gonna save men, women, and children that call upon his name. All right. Out of all of this hell that's coming, man. But the only way to get to the kingdom is to go through it. All right. Only way to get to that city that's in it is all good things. You got to go through the narrow, the straight gate, man. All right. This is our rite of passage to the kingdom. You know, best believe these devils, they watch every video. They watch all of our videos, man. Just like the apostles say, they know we're the prophet. They watch our videos. They send them spies. What do you think vocab is all about? See, it says they hope that the Zionists and the Muslims would destroy one another and bring the rest of the world to a final conflict, which that's going to happen, right? Because it's prophecy. Okay, when you go to Ezekiel 38, it's dealing with Gog and Magog, which that's dealing with Russia, which the people inhabit that they are Idumeans too. Okay, now it tells you what Iran and Persia, which the modern day Persians are so-called Iranians. Okay, they call Loyam like Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Okay, it says an economic chaos, right? Because this third world war is going to cause money. So that's going to cause furthermore the collapse of the world economies. So this devil could come in with what? It's MOTB, right? The new form of currency, which is what they want to do so they can have total control over you. It says to fill the void created by the great battle will come a world government headed by the Illuminati, which they're not the real Illuminati, because Illuminati means to be enlightened. Okay? That will tell you in Baruch 4, man. Yeah, there's a red, blue, and yellow list. You can look that up. All right. That goes for the people, who so-called truthers or conspiracy theorists, right? Which now you have PBS putting out there that. Actually, let me see if I screenshotted it. I don't know if you can see this, but from PBS News Hours. I know it's backwards. I'm gonna read it. It says we want to save our community from misinformation. Or what misinformation? Misinformation about the 19 or the C boogie, whatever you want to call it, right? You can't say nothing about that, even though we know what it's doing. Okay, so pretty much truth. If you're speaking any truth, you're a target. Okay, this is another one. You can look up PBS News Hour. You can look at their YouTube channel. All right. It says, I believed in conspiracy theories, which they will call what I'm bringing out now. It's a conspiracy. But this sent me over the edge. So we're in those times, man. Okay. We're in those times. We're in the times where the true worshipers are going to worship Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Because you can't just go to Yahweh. All right. You need Yahweh Shai, who's our high priest after the order of Melchizedek. Okay. So, all right. So in time where the true worshipers are going to worship Yahweh Shem El Shai. All right, the elector being still, and also what the famine of the word. You know, back in this fossilized customs, it says the great battle will come. The great it says fill the void created by the great battle will come a world government headed by the Illuminati and the Illuminati doctrine, which the Illuminati means enlightened. Lucifer is God. Lucifer means light bearer. Okay, and Satanism is heresy. So this is that NWO that they want to create, and we see it right now. We're actually living in it. Okay, but the thing about it is they're not going to be satisfied. Okay, it's about this man. It tells you that he's never satisfied. You know, so I'll read a little more. I'm already at the 40-minute mark. I didn't want to make this too long, but like I said, I'm up. I was doing this. Studying, as it says, I believe that is the MOTB. Well, that's part of it. The MOTB is actually, is physical, but look up RFID to open their doors, to start their cars up. They're actually using in Wisconsin. Okay. This is Revelation 17 and 1. Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And that's dealing with this place here, man. Babylon the Great. It's the great whore it's talking about. All right. The fact that it's sitting on many waters, meaning it's dealing with many nations, peoples, kindreds, tongues. Hell, it has different U.S. embassies, U.S. consulates, and in different nations around different peoples. Okay, etc. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of our fornication. So these different kings have committed fornication with this place financially by following the ways, by being part of that crafty council, because we can't forget that either. That Psalms 83, these different nations, they have a crafty council to cut us off from being a nation. All right, that the name of Israel be no more. Remembers that we don't call ourselves Israel, that we don't keep our ancient customs, okay, beliefs, culture, that we don't come back to that. Right? It was even prophesied to Jeremiah that you shall discontinue from your heritage. Okay, it says, actually, let me go to something because I read here in the ledger, which I'll read it. This is Revelation 2 and verse 20. Tira says, notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, all right, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. Okay. Now, when I went in the ledger here, because this is my study Bible, see at the bottom there's a ledger, the existence of this Babylon. The many waters are explained as peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. You can read that in verse 15. It says Babylon has essentially the same relationship of fornication with the kings of sinners in the church of Thyatira. Meaning what? Babylon is in the spirit of Jezebel as a whole, because what is it doing? It's going around teaching these different nations to commit fornication, which they're ultimately going to do with what? The MOTB, right? Because remember, this is going to be a global thing, man. Okay? And these nations, they're with it, you know? Let me see if I could find this article I sent to the chat. All right, this is from Daily Mail. It says the real axis of evil, how nuclear armed, right? Everything is going back to nuclear. Russia, China, and Iran, which Russia is the bear, China is the washpot, Moab, and Iran is Persia, right? Which Russia is acting as a guard to Iran, right? When pursuant to Ezekiel 38, are plotting to break up the West with a new world order. Okay. So yeah, man, it's getting real hot in the kitchen. Okay. And these other kings, they have committed fornication with this whore, they have drunken them that wine. Now they're to the point where they're mad. Okay. It says, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet covered beast, or scarlet covered beast, meaning the red, and you see a red colored beast and a woman sitting on it. Okay. It says, upon scarlet covered beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Remember, when you go to the book of Daniel, the beast is dealing with what? A kingdom, right? So this beast has 7 heads and 10 horns, right? Which I, going back to my notes here. Obviously, the woman is dealing with America, Babylon the Great, right? The scarlet covered beast is dealing with NATO, the EU, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, the European Union, which is the economic side of it, right? The 7 heads are, governments, different kingdoms, right? Which will be dealing with what? The Greeks, Greece, the British, UK, Great Britain, Spanish, Spain, Portugal, that area, French, France, Rome, Italy, the Vatican, which that's also the false prophet, right? Germania Minor, Germany, Germania Major, dealing with the Czech Republic, excuse me if I'm saying that wrong, Poland, you know, that different area over there, man. All right. So that's the beast that this horde is riding upon. We see it. Look at what's happening between, Babylon. All right. This year you just had Finland and Sweden join NATO. You see, verse 4, and with meaning what? Being given a kingdom, being given rulership, man. Because if you're arrayed in purple, that represents royalty, right? And scarlet color and decked color, meaning red, which that's the color of what? Sin or wickedness or blood, right? And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of our fornications, going into what? Their petrodollar, their dollar, how it sanctions on other nations. And just, it says, and having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of our fornications, ultimately an NWO and an MOTB that it wants to put on all other nations. Okay? And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, meaning this woman, meaning this country, this whore, drunken with the blood of the saints, meaning what? The slaughtering of the Israelites, man. The saints of the Israelites, when they tell it. Actually, let's get that. I believe it's Psalms 50. Yep, this is Psalms 50 and verse 5. Gather my those that had made a covenant, which covenants, okay. Exodus 24, we entered into a covenant with the heavenly man by blood. Right? So that's how they say it in the streets, blood in, blood out. Right? So going back to Revelation, set of the Israelites, and with the blood of the marks of Yahushua, right? Because also prophecy going back to persecution in the red, yellow, blue list. Part of that list is to take certain people back to the camps, and if they don't want to, get with the program, then pretty much off with their head. And that's this place being drunken with the martyrs of Yahushua. Okay, because it tells you in Revelation 20 that I saw the souls of them that were beheaded, man. You know. Oh, so let me see. Ate the water, brother. Salakia. Let me see. Hey, Shalom, Baba Kashal. Let me know if the audio gets any better. Hey, Shalom, Baba Kashal. Let me know if the audio gets any better. Okay, the brother says, kind of just saying. Yeah, man, just part of the, just how it is sometimes. The water. I appreciate that. This is back in Revelation 17 and verse 7. It says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. All right. Of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which had the 7 heads and 10 horns, right? Because one thing we have to remember is that America came out of Britain. All right. So Britain is pretty much the mother of this place. All right. I'm gonna jump down to verse 10. I'm gonna end this soon. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. When he coming, he must continue a short space. Okay, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. This place is gonna be destroyed. And the 10 kings which thou sawest are 10 horns, or 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast, right? And that whole space force and everything says, these shall make war with the Lamb. The Lamb is Yahweh Shai. And the Lamb, Yahweh Shai, shall overcome them, right? For he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. He said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. You can look up how many U.S. embassies this damn kingdom is on NATO. You see, so this whore is riding upon that beast. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate their whore. So ultimately, the Lord is going to have a turn of events where his very allies is going to hate her. Okay, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and shall burn her with fire. Okay, that's nuclear fire. It says, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua had put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall be fulfilled. Okay, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Now, if you go to chapter 18, it's dealing with the fall of Babylon, man. All right, I'm gonna read that really quickly. This is I'm gonna start at 4, and I'll probably end at 8. This is Revelation 18 and 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be the elect are gonna be taken out of here, brought through that fire, and I'll bring the third part through the fire. It's gonna be right now, trials and tribulations, gonna be tried as gold. Okay, but when ultimately when the elect are beamed up, gonna be literally brought through the fire. For her sins, the sins of this place, have reached unto heaven. All right, and Yahweh Shem shall have remembered her iniquity. So now the Lord's visit. The Lord is already visiting this place. That's why the water's fucked up. Jack. The Lord is already smiting this place, man, with plagues as before. Reward her even as she rewarded you. All right, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shai, Bashem Bakadosh Pakatam. These Idumeans, they're going to get double the destruction, double the ass whooping, double the humiliation, slaughtering, whatever they did, Verse 7, verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she had filled to her double how much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously. In this place, they lived deliciously, man. Right? But not anymore. Because we're in a season where abundance is entering that so-called dark winter, which out around Radazah, which that means Lord's will. This will be that dark winter. Hell, I believe today started a railroad strike, man. So it's going to be a grain shortage, rice shortage, right? A few months back, they tell you that there's only 10 weeks of wheat left in the world. Okay? It says, so much torment and sorrow give her, and that's what's coming to this place, many great miseries. For she said in her heart, I am a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Verse 8, therefore shall her plague come in one day. Okay? Death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahweh Hashem El Shah who judges. Well, actually, I got ended off with Isaiah 19. Okay, Isaiah 19 says her days shall not be prolonged. I'm sorry, actually 13. Isaiah 13 and 19. Destruction of Babylon. It's Isaiah 13:19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, right? The greatest kingdom on earth, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, this place is going to go out in like manner. That place went out by fire and brimstone as an example. And who's following the ways of Sodom and Gomorrah? This place right here. All right. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem El Shah, Shem Kadosh Bakatam. It says, Verse 20, it shall never be inhabited. That's how the Most High feels about. That's how angry the Lord is. Tells you in Psalm 7:11 that the Lord is angry with the wicked every day, right? Shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. I believe even to this day that where Sodom and Gomorrah was, nothing grows there. It's not fit for people to dwell, right? You can't just, you know, go there and move there, man. The Lord fucked that place up. All right. The worst is going to happen here. It says, it shall be, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. So Ishmael is going to be able to come set up his funky ass shop where every time you go in there, it's a different price. And they're talking shit to you. Okay. It says, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. And it's not going to be a place where you could come and farm and live off the land. Right? But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there. And to get a list of those beasts, you can read Isaiah 34. Okay. And their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and sats shall dance there. And wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So, man, the days of this kingdom, ain't gonna be prolonged, But according to prophecy, the scripture, Daniel said this man had worn out the saints, had to worn out the saints, man. But hey, this word by rod and thy staff comfort us, man. So I just want to do that lesson, man. I pray that this has been edifying, faith boosting, and comforting. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Stay strong, stay prayed up. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai.